In another video, I talked about things you can do to secure WordPress beyond what it does itself. In this case, we're going to look at plugins that either monitor those security features or actually make some changes for you or do things that protect WordPress. So I've divided these into two basic groups. One is multitasking or multi-monitoring plugins, and then plugins that do specific things, specific actions towards security. Let's look at these multitaskers first. The first one is called WP Security Scan. This is probably the most popular out of all of them, and it's been around the longest too. It basically suggests changes. It goes through, monitors things, and makes suggested changes. So this is its admin screen, and it goes through, gives you system information. And then over here, these are scans that it's done, and the red are recommended changes. The green is yes, everything's okay. There are plans for future features, but those haven't been implemented yet. There is a scanner that goes through and looks at your files and says your file permissions are good on these, bad on these, so you can then go in and make the changes yourself. There's a password tool if you want to create really tough passwords. And then there is a database changer. This is the one that will actually go in and make this change of the table prefix here that it's talking about. And if you click here to change it, it goes to this database page down here. That's what that's for. You can, of course, make those changes yourself as well, but this offers a tool to do it. All right, Secure WordPress. This is another popular one. Now, in this case, these checkboxes are a list of items that it's going to perform for you. So you're deciding here what it is you do and don't want it to do. And once you click this, it'll go through and actually make these changes. So this one isn't so much a monitoring tool as a tool to actually perform some of these changes. A more recent monitoring plugin is called Ultimate Security Checker. And I kind of like the interface on this one because it's very, very clear and sort of draws your attention to things a little better. It gives you letter grades based on various aspects of your site, and some of these, according to this, I'm actually not doing so well with our installation here. Now, some of these items, there's disagreement about how important they are and so forth, so you'll want to do some more reading about them, but it makes suggestions and gives you a place to start. So, for example, check configuration file. Now again, depending on the permissions you've got, as long as your permissions are secure, where you place your WP config file isn't that big an issue, but it is an issue, and so it's drawing attention to it. One of the things I really like here too is it gives you this quick suggestion of what to do, but then you want more detail. That's all contained on this page, and it goes through and shows you with explanations how you can make these changes, coding that you can use. So it's very comprehensive in that sense, and I think much more user-friendly with this grading system that it uses. And then Bulletproof Security is one that actually goes in and tries to block hackers by using htaccess files. So obviously this is for Apache servers only, but it can be very valuable, and again, it's active. It actually creates those files for you. All right, specific task plugins. So let's say you need specific things done. These plugins will actually do them for you. For example, antivirus will go through, scan your files, check for any possible viruses in there. Logging in is often a problem. That's the way hackers get in. This one, or these two I should say, there's two different ones here, login lockdown and a more recent one called limit login attempts. What these do is they check and see from a particular IP address, how often is this person trying to log in? So for example, if they've tried 5 times in a row, you might set a threshold that says ban that IP if they've tried that many times within 5 minutes or whatever. Gives you the ability to set those and the ability to block those IP addresses. Ask Apache, obviously for Apache servers. This one uses another layer of password protection for your logging in. This is for your WP admin section. WordPress File Monitor. This one's interesting because it checks whether files have been changed, and it notifies you by email. Now, of course, it could be legitimate changes that have been made, but at least it tells you the changes have been made. So if you notice that you haven't been into WordPress in 2 weeks, and wait a minute, a file's been changed, that gives you a reason to go in and double check things. Some of these plugins perform fairly simple functions, and here's one that all it does is which again, it's not a high-level security fix, but it can be helpful to just remove the regular login, which all WordPress installations share. Some of these plugins perform fairly simple functions, and here's one that all it does is it changes the address for your login page, which again, it's not a high-level security fix, but it can be helpful to just remove the regular login, which all WordPress installations share, just change that address to something different. Even that can be simple ways to secure your site. So there you go, a few plugins to help you monitor what's going on, help you scan for security issues, and plugins that actually make changes for you. You can decide between all of these what fits in best with your security plans for your client's site.